At $0, you are a slave to your next paycheck. At $25,000, you finally have breathing room. And at $100,000, you become dangerous. But once you beat that final level, working for a boss becomes completely optional. I used to think that reaching financial freedom was just one long, miserable road. But it is actually a game with 3 very different levels. And here is the brutal truth. The rules completely change at every single level. The exact financial rules that get you to your first 25 grand will keep you totally stuck when you try to hit 100 grand. If you play the wrong level with the wrong rules, you can work hard for 10 straight years and never move forward. So today, I am giving you the cheat code. Level 1, $0 to $25,000. Most people are exactly one bad month away from a total financial crisis. Their entire life depends on next month's paycheck arriving perfectly on time. Level 1 is about escaping that trap. The goal is simple. Save 1 full year of living expenses. Depending on where you live, that is usually between $15,000 and $25,000. Think of this cash like an airplane runway. Without a runway, you cannot get into the air. You are permanently grounded. To build this runway fast, you need 4 rules. Rule number 1, you do not deserve the best. You deserve freedom. Does an $80 bottle of wine make you 10 times happier than an $8 one? No. The experience is basically the same, but the price difference is destroying your future. Rule number 2, a dollar saved is worth more than a dollar earned. Everyone thinks earning more is the fastest way to get ahead. But at level 1, saving is actually more powerful. Why? Because income is heavily taxed. Savings are not. If you get a $5,000 raise at work, the government takes a massive cut. You might only keep $3,700. But if you move to a cheaper apartment and save $5,000 on rent, you keep every single penny. The money you don't spend is worth more than the money you chase. Rule number 3, change the big things, not the small ones. Over 70% of your spending goes to just 3 categories: housing, transportation, and food. Most people focus on skipping their morning coffee. That requires brutal willpower every single day, and it saves basically nothing. Instead, make one massive decision. Get a roommate. Move to a cheaper neighborhood. Sell the shiny car. You make that uncomfortable decision once, and it passively saves you thousands of dollars all year long. Rule number 4, kill the bad debt first. If you have credit card debt, do not invest. People put money into the stock market trying to earn 8% while paying 16% interest to the bank. That is like running up an escalator that is going down twice as fast. You will always lose. These 4 rules do not just save you money. They buy you a ticket to a better life. Imagine 2 guys, David and Marcus. They both make 5 grand a month. David spends it all. Marcus saved his 25 grand runway. A massive opportunity comes along. A dream job with a lower starting salary, but huge upside. David cannot take it because he is a slave to his rent and car payments. Marcus takes it immediately. People call that luck, but luck is just what happens when you are financially prepared. Welcome to level 2, 25 grand to 100 grand. Level 1 was all about defense, protecting yourself from disaster. But level 2 is pure attack. And there are 2 massive moves you have to make to beat it. Move number 1, make your house pay for you. Right now, the place you sleep in is not an investment. It is a bleeding expense. Whether you are renting or paying a mortgage, housing eats the biggest chunk of your money every single month. But the wealthy flip this script. The strategy is called house hacking. Here is exactly how it works. You buy a property. You live in one part of it, and you rent out the rest. It could be a duplex, a house with a spare room, or a building with a business on the ground floor. The rent from your tenant pays your entire mortgage. You get to live entirely for free. When people hear this, their immediate reaction is, "It's not for me. I live in a big city. It's impossible." Listen to me very closely. The exact second you say it is impossible, you block your brain from thinking. But the second you ask, "How could I make it work?" your brain immediately starts finding solutions. Move number 2, you have to earn more money. If you do not want to run a business, you have to stop climbing a corporate ladder that only hands you a pathetic 3% raise every year. You are going nowhere fast. Instead, find a job where the work you do directly controls how much you get paid. Switch to high-ticket sales, where you get a cut of every deal. Join a fast-growing startup, or start doing freelance work where you dictate your own prices. Now, what if you do want to build a business? A lot of financial books warn against starting a side hustle. They say you will be too tired after your day job. And look, if your side hustle is delivering food for pennies, they are 100% right. You will burn out. But if you are building a real, scalable business, I completely disagree. When I built my business, I didn't just quit my job to go all in. That is financial suicide. Instead, I learned to look at my day job differently. My day job became the angel investor that paid for my life while I built my dream. It paid my rent so I never had to panic. So I woke up early. I worked on my business before I went to my day job. I poured my nights and weekends into it. It was exhausting. It was a massive grind. But the angel investor kept me alive until my business was big enough to set me free. But a warning, whether you start a business or get a massive raise, the exact second you start making more money, a dangerous trap will trigger. Your brain will tell you that because you are earning more, you finally deserve to spend more. You will want the better apartment and the expensive clothes. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is a silent killer. It will murder everything you just built. Do not fall for it. Make more money, but do not spend more yet. The goal of level 2 is not to look rich. The goal is to build the machine that gets you to level 3. Now we reach the final stage, level 3. 100 grand to financial freedom. But before we talk about how to get there, we need to completely redefine what freedom actually means. Financial freedom is not about having $1 million in the bank or driving a sports car. It is simple math. Freedom means the money flowing passively from your assets is greater than your living expenses. Even if you sleep all month, the money still lands in your account. To beat this level, you need to know your freedom number. Take whatever you spend in a single year and multiply it by 25. If you spend $40,000 a year to survive, multiply that by 25, and your freedom number is $1 million. But remember all that cutting back you did in level 1? If you reduce your spending by just $500 a month, your yearly expenses drop. Multiply that by 25, and your new target is just $850,000. You didn't just save money, you literally pulled the target closer and wiped $150,000 off the board in a single move. Now, how do you actually build that wealth? There are 2 proven paths. Path number 1 is passive investing. Warren Buffett's mentor always said, do not try to maximize your returns. Try to maximize your chances of actually finishing the race. This is the exact philosophy behind low-cost index funds. On average, they return a steady 8 to 10% a year, but almost nobody listens to this advice. People want a dopamine hit. They want to pick individual stocks, stressing over every single dip. But a volatile stock that rockets up 30% will eventually crash 50%. And when you lose half your money, you do not need a 50% gain to break even. You need a 100% gain just to get back to where you started. The boring index fund investor earning a steady, uninterrupted 8% will quietly win the entire game. Path number 2 is active real estate. You already have a head start from house hacking in level 2. The game now is to scale it. Real estate builds wealth in 5 ways at once. You get monthly cash flow from rent, the property goes up in value, the tenant pays off your debt, you get huge tax benefits, and finally, it shields you from inflation. Normally, inflation eats your savings alive, but when you own property, you completely change the game. Inflation forces your rent prices up, it forces your house value up, but your mortgage payment to the bank is frozen in time. 10 years from now, you are collecting more rent but paying the bank with cheaper dollars. Most wealthy people use both paths, index funds for peace of mind and real estate for speed. But always remember this, do not confuse financial freedom with being rich. You get free first, then you pour your time into what truly matters. Freedom first, rich second. Get the order right. The math of money is incredibly simple. It is your behavior that is hard. Your biggest enemy on this journey will always be your own psychology. If you want to master the elite mindset required to beat this game, hit that subscribe button right now. We are handing you the American Wealth Playbook every single week. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.